Hello, my name's Toby Thompson. I'm here today with Dr. Sarah Burton-Taylor, Director of the Web Usability Partnership. Sarah, you did a DBA very many years ago now.
Yes, I was part of the first cohort in
whether you can remember
1999. Yes, it doesn't actually seem that long ago, even though it is 11 years ago. Very exciting. I'd done an MBA back in 86, 87, but hadn't done any further study since then. So it was quite exciting to be entering the academic world again for the DBA.
And it sounds, from what you said before the interview, you've been able to put it into practice. Tell me more about how applicable some of the information and some of the learning was in that process.
Indeed. Well, I'd probably start by saying initially I didn't quite know how this was going to be helpful to me in my work. It was something I felt I wanted to do, just the purpose of doing some academic study, but not really sure how I was going to apply it at all. But the DBA is structured in as 3 projects, and in fact the third project was looking at a consulting intervention, which we've then adapted and grown, and it now underpins the business that I run today, the Web Usability Partnership. It underpins the consulting intervention that we use, where we think we can actually get action from research quickly and efficiently for our clients.
So that transfer of knowledge into action, as it were, is that because the process of study was so very relevant to your area, or was it a manner of thinking? How do you tie those together?
It's, I think one of the great things about the DBA, doing the DBA, was actually introducing me to a different way of thinking about consulting interventions. That's not what I embarked on doing at all. I wanted to find out about issues around tacit knowledge, organisational memory, how very effective organisations perform, what it is that helps them perform at a tacit level. So the consulting intervention was not something I thought I was going to come out with at all. But as we were working through the DBA, the different projects, and I started looking at how we could affect change in organisations, that's when I moved into the area of the consulting intervention. And as luck has it, business opportunities came along where I could see I could tie together a sound research-based piece of work with the new consulting intervention that emerged out of the DBA.
So you had a panel, like all DBAs, a panel of supervisors. How were they helping with that process of applicability and relevance, or weren't they?
Oh, they were, very much so. I was very lucky. I had 3 very good and very different supervisors. I had Cliff Bowman, who was my strategy supervisor, David Cranfield, who was bringing in a change management perspective, and Kim Turnbull, who was bringing in the organisational development perspective. So 3 very different angles looking at the same issues. And so for me it was hugely stimulating because they all could bring different things to the party. It's one of the great strengths of the DBI, I think, was having the 3 different supervisors. At times it could make it slightly frustrating for me because they'd be arguing amongst themselves, but even in that process meant I was learning a huge amount.
So you're Dr. Sarah now. How do people view you? How do your clients view you now with that kind of legitimacy or that academicness? How do they see you?
It certainly helps with some clients. Other clients really don't care too much, but there are some clients where I'm able to talk about why we adopt the consulting approach we do and why we think it works, why we think they get better value for money out of the research, why they can actually implement things more effectively in their organisations. As I say, being able to talk about that academic underpinning can have quite a big effect on some of the clients in terms of, I suppose, giving them confidence in what we're doing. It helps us to sell what we're doing more effectively because they think that there is something behind it rather than just a lot of puff.
And can you see a future unfolding in front of you now over the next few years?
Well, the business that we've got will be the business that we'll be planning on running over the next few years. Inevitably it evolves as time goes on, but certainly what I see as the key intellectual property that underpins it is stuff that came out of the DBA for me.
Dr. Sarah Burton-Taylor, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.